Hi, Leo. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for July. July is going to be a high drama month for all of us because Mercury is going retrograde and there are also a couple of eclipses. A solar eclipse, which is happening on July 2nd, and a lunar eclipse, which is happening on July 16th. Now, eclipses are said to be times when you must look at your shadow. And this is because eclipses literally involve a shadow. That's why something is being eclipsed. So when we have to look at our shadow, of course, it makes us all very uncomfortable. This month for you, Leo, it might be especially uncomfortable because the first of these two eclipses is happening in your 12th house, right here in the sign of Cancer. It's happening on July 2nd. And so you might be forced to look at some aspects of yourself that you're unaware of. And boy, if there's anything that fire signs like Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius hate, it's being made aware of something that they weren't paying attention to. So it's going to be really important for you to comport yourself with some grace and some graciousness long around July 2nd. Now, a solar eclipse like this one is usually a time when something physical happens, something actual that anyone could see. So I think that it really makes sense to restrain yourself and to be thoughtful in the beginning of July. Now, in the middle of July, on I think it's the 16th, yep, we have another eclipse, and this one is a lunar eclipse, and it's happening in your 6th house right here in Capricorn. And the moon is in Capricorn opposing the sun. That's what an eclipse is. It happens on a full moon always. And so this one is happening in the area of work, but this one is a lunar eclipse. And a lunar eclipse, I've heard it called an emotional roto-rooter. It really stirs up feelings, big feelings. So there could be some drama for you in the workplace. You might find yourself being in greater resistance about maintaining the routines of your healthy lifestyle or the systems that make your job run. So don't pay attention to your inner brat, let go of the tantrum, and really take a hard look at what you've not been seeing. That's really the most graceful way to get through an eclipse. Julia, what do you think is going on this month?
Well, hey, Leo. I'm going to talk about Venus right now, which is the planet of relationships. It's a very social planet. It also has to do with spending money, too. And for the first few days, I only think it's the first 3 days of July, Venus is still going to be in your 11th house. That's the house of groups, including your friendship circles. So, the first few days might start off with a quick social tempo where you want to kind of reach out to friends, invite them over in the home, or join a group on some activity. But then on the 4th, Venus is going to enter your 12th house, and that's a much different feeling. The 12th house is a lot more withdrawn. So instead of being out in the world, you might prefer to kind of stick to yourself a little bit. If you have a partner, you might prefer to just stay at home and cuddle up and watch movies instead of just go out into the world. And since Venus also shows us how we spend money, you might be more inclined to be giving your resources either to nonprofits or to charities, because the 12th house has such an altruistic, in its higher manifestation element to it as well. And then at the very tail end of the month, after the 29th, Venus is going to jump right into your first house. And the first house being the house of self, that's going to be a wonderful time to sort of go back out into the world again, maybe find things to beautify yourself with, because Venus is the planet of aesthetics in general. So for most of the month, you might be a little bit withdrawn, but at the beginning and the end, the social activity is going to pick up. What do you think, Natha?
Yeah, hi Leo. Let's talk about Mercury and Mars. So, Mars is the planet of energy, action. Mars in July is going to be in your first house for the whole month, really. And, Mars, you, Leo, you like to be seen. And Jamie mentioned some of that, and so did Julia. This identity piece is really important to you, and you want to be seen in a specific kind of light. And I think having Mars in your first house is really going to sort of propel you into wanting to be seen and wanting to be appreciated. However, Mercury is going retrograde this month. And Mercury is going retrograde. It's starting in your first house. So, the beginning part of the month until July 7th, you're going to feel like, hey, I can talk about myself, I can connect with people, and I'm really feeling seen. And then it's going to slip into the 12th house. And so it's going to become a little bit more murky for you. And, what did Jamie say? What you have not been seeing, right? And so this is going to become a theme for those next few weeks is, what have you not been seeing about yourself? What has been very internal that has been thwarting you, but maybe hasn't been something that you've seen? Probably get to see that. And then, of course, that, ends and you end up kind of coming back out of it. But I would say that, this is a great month for really looking at your identity. How do people see me versus what do I not see about myself that might be impacting how people see me? Jamie?
Yeah, Natha, I really think that there's a strong tie between the eclipse and that Mercury activity because, during a Mercury retrograde period is a really good time to go back and clean up old communications or literally clean out old closets. And that 12th house can be very closet-like. So it wouldn't be surprising at all if the Leos and Leo risers of the world feel like there's some miscommunication that's a little bit murky from the past that could really stand to be cleaned up this month. So, yep, definitely a connection. Well, that's all for today, Leo. Thanks for watching. Look for our August horoscope next month, and we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye.